Rangers have made it 4 wins from 4 under Michael Beale as the Birds see out their year in good form following their latest victory against Motherwell. Next up for Rangers is Celtic in the Old Firm derby on January 2nd, a game that is labelled a must-win if the Light Blues want any chance at winning the league title this season. In today's video, we provide you with an injury state of play after Wednesday night's game. We also give you a major update on one of Rangers' transfer targets, and also discuss the 5 things we learned from Rangers 3, Motherwell 0. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Rangers have been dealt a potential injury blow to Alfredo Morelos ahead of next week's clash with Celtic. The Colombian striker was back on from the start in Wednesday night's game against Motherwell at Ibrox and opened the scoring after heading a brilliant cross into the box from Borna Barisic past Liam Kelly. However, Morelos' night came to an end midway through the second half when he pulled up with what appeared to be a calf injury. The Rangers striker received treatment on the pitch, but was ultimately forced to come off, though Michael Beale would have been happy to see him do so unassisted. Still, with Antonio Colak's own fitness still a concern, losing Morelos will have been the last thing the manager wanted ahead of Monday's game against Celtic. After the game, Beale said, "I think at this moment, Morelos had a bit of tightness. He's been playing with aches and pains, hence why he never played against Ross County, because he hasn't played much this year. The last 2 games took a lot out of him. Let's hope it's nothing serious, but with Antonio and Kemar back in training now, it gives us more options in that area, and that's what we need, I think. We are likely to find out very soon how long Morelos will be out for, hoping it is nothing serious, but the fact that Beale said both Roof and Colak are back in training, it could offer a huge boost ahead of the derby on Monday." The January transfer window is just days away from opening, and as I've said multiple times here on the channel, the club is set to make a few additions as Michael Beale looks to put his stamp on the team. In the lead up to the window, there has been few rumours, but nothing really concrete apart from talk around Nicholas Raskin. The Standard Liège midfielder has been dumped into the reserves by manager Ronny Deila after refusing to sign a new deal in Belgium. Rangers were credited with serious interest in the Belgian under-21 star both in the summer and when the transfer window reopens next week. However, he appears he has made it clear he wants to play in Ligue 1 and will move to French club. Marseille and Toulouse have both made inquiries about signing him now for a cut price fee, now rather than waiting to get him for nothing in the summer. Nantes and Reims have also shown interest, but he could be persuaded to go to Toulouse because they are now managed by former Nottingham Forest manager Felipe Montina, who worked with Raskin when he was in charge of Standard Liège 2 years ago. Rangers manager Michael Beale has suggested that a new contract for Steven Davis is not off the table as the Ibrox gaffer discussed the midfielder's devastating knee injury. News broke this week that 37-year-old veteran midfielder Davis is ruled out for the rest of the season due to a freak training injury, with major doubts now surrounding the player's Ibrox future. Out of contract in the summer, the 140 times capped Northern Ireland captain is in the twilight of his career and there was set to be a decision made about his future in the coming months anyway. However, his knee injury sparked fears that the adoring Rangers support would not see their influential former captain Steven Davis turn out for the club again. Speaking about the devastating injury, not only did Michael Beale suggest that a new playing contract isn't off the table, but that the club are also looking beyond Steven Davis's playing days. He said, "It's a huge blow. I've been devastated ever since it happened. I believe in early January he will go down and have an operation, then we'll sit and talk. The Christmas period is a good time for that reflection anyway. We're a club and have a plan for Steven anyway. Moving forward, he's someone we want to have in and around the club, both as a player and a second career if he chooses to go down that route." That was something that was already under discussion in the very first meeting I had with the club because I knew Steven had a lovely way of detaching himself from the game and seeing it as someone overlooking the game rather than a player who can only see it through their own eyes. I was very interested to know where Steven saw himself later in life. Having come in and seen him against Leverkusen and the second half of the Hibs game, I thought Steven hadn't changed in the year I've been away. I thought he was sharp as ever and was playing the same level, so therefore that conversation I was holding in my back pocket. Only Steven will be making a decision on his future. He's got to have the operation and see exactly what the surgeon says and what he feels around it. Then he'll decide what he wants to do next. Knowing Steven, I think he'll want to continue to play because he still can play. He's not had anything like this before. The news came very sharp upon Christmas, and we agreed that we'll take this time with his family, enjoy Christmas and get the operation. From there, we'll see what the actual timing is. The plan right now is not to have the operation with a view to returning. This all suggests that Steven Davis's future is anything but decided, but after the most recent injury and everyone involved at Rangers, we'll be hoping the player makes a speedy recovery in the weeks ahead. Having played 360 games for Rangers across 2 spells, and having won 8 major honours and a jersey shirt, including 4 league titles, no Rangers fans would want to see him go out like this. As we mentioned in the intro, Rangers made it 4 wins from 4 under new boss Michael Beale as they beat Motherwell 3-0 at Ibrox. First half goals from Alfredo Morelos and Connor Goldson had the Jazz in a good position at the break, before Tillman ramped up the 3 points in the second half. In this part of the video, we're going to discuss the 5 things we learned from Rangers 3, Motherwell 0. Borna's back. Barisic made his first return to league action after featuring in Croatia's incredible World Cup run. The left-back came into the fold in place of Adam Devine, and you'd forgive some Rangers fans for wanting the youngster to continue after some shaky displays under Giovanni van Bronckhorst. There is no doubt that the Croatian played his best stuff when Beale was last involved, and tonight he rolled back to the Gerrard era, bombing forward and putting in some excellent crosses. His impact in the first half was there for all to see. His first pinpoint cross found Morelos, who bulleted a header past the Motherwell keeper. A decent delivery for the corner then helped Goldson onto the scoresheet as Rangers took control in the first half. Lowry's chance. If there is one player on the fringe at Ibrox that fans want to see, it's Alex Lowry. The youth star lit up games last season with his tricky footwork and attacking abilities. Games in the Scottish Cup and in the final stages of the league last season left many thinking Giovanni van Bronckhorst would have him as a starter. But a horror challenge for the B team early in the season put any of those rumours to bed. Tonight, with a new manager at the helm, Lowry was given his chance as a surprise inclusion. Lowry featured in the attacking quartet, which included Ryan Kent, Malik Tillman and Alfredo Morelos. Despite a slow, stuttering start, the youngster soon found his feet. He came very close to getting on the scoresheet as he showed glimpses of what is to come. It remains to be seen if it's enough for a derby debut come Monday, but Alex Lowry definitely is knocking on the door. Sloppy in possession. Despite ultimately securing all 3 points, Beale would have been undoubtedly unhappy with how easily his team gave away the ball in the middle of the pitch. On several occasions, the Light Blues misplaced passes to each other that in turn allowed Motherwell to go on the attack. One such mistake on John Lundstrom's part nearly proved disastrous when Connor Shields was able to run through on goal, only being stopped by the advancing Alan McGregor. With the Old Firm clash with Celtic now being the next game up, Beale will be keen to ensure his team are so much more better in possession. Pay the money for Tillman. Every game since Beale has taken over, one player that keeps on impressing me is Malik Tillman. Always getting involved with the creative side and a lot of things going through him, it really is good to see that he's making an impact and his game is getting even better since Beale took over. Rangers need to make sure they secure his signature come the summer. Derby decisions. Beale will head into the first Old Firm clash with plenty to mull over. He's made it 4 out of 4 wins, and Wednesday night brought Barisic back into the fold. That gives Rangers a more complete back four heading back into the showdown with Celtic. But questions will remain over the attack and midfield. The inclusion of Lowry tonight would have many thinking he'll be set to start the duel with Celtic. Glenn Kamara is also thrown into the mix and could be seen as a starter and try to win the battle in the middle of the park, which will be very important. Up top, Beale will hope Kolak and Roof pass the late fitness test. With Morelos limping off, there is certainly big decisions to make between now and the 2nd of January. Rangers fans, what are your thoughts on the January transfer window? And how many players do you think the club will need to acquire this winter? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.